Yeah, and we're back, folks. Thank you for joining us again for another episode. We appreciate your support and everything you guys do. So, Get Better, Part 2. I really enjoyed that last one, and I think we didn't even scratch the surface of what we could talk about. Might have to have three parts to it, but you want to start out on what you were talking about, the decoys and spreads, and
when I first started duck hunting, and Titus can relate to this. Basically, I just threw all my decoys in these bags and those mesh bags that had holes in them, and walking, a mile, even half a mile to the pond, those things banging around in there.
In the back of your calves.
Yeah, the tail of the pintail stabbing you in the back of the legs, all that stuff. You can get better just with your equipment. Some of the decoys I have now have flock heads, so I went with the slotted bags. I think just they last longer. Take care of your stuff.
Way longer.
Appreciate what you have. I mean, some people just throw all their stuff in one big pile and whatever, and that's your prerogative. It's your stuff. You can do whatever you want with it. But personally, trying to take better care of my decoys. Put them in slotted bags. Takes a little bit longer to get them out. Sometimes, using those J hooks versus, I would grab anything I could use for a weight back in the day, and when they get all tangled up and you're spending sometimes you spend more time untangling all your decoy lines, the type of line you use, different things like that. Just being more cognizant of what you're
getting better
with your decoys, taking better care of stuff.
Working smarter instead of harder.
Yeah.
That's part of getting better.
I think that's an aspect of it. I've killed ducks over the ugliest decoys you could probably imagine, and killed them over AVN X's, but just taking care of your stuff, make it last longer, so you don't have to buy it again.
I have been guilty of that. Just taking for granted that you have extra money to get stuff if you do it, so you don't take as good a care. I've been guilty of that, and that's just like wrong. It doesn't matter how much money you have or how little money you have. You should always take care of your stuff. Yeah, and respect what you have.
Well, that's why I tell my kids, if you buy something right, you take care of it. You don't have to buy that again for a long time, or as soon. Or if you lose it, just appreciate what you have and take care of it, and it'll last.
Yeah.
Just being appreciative of your stuff.
What do you feel like? So the slotted bags and stuff, but like spreads and stuff. I mean, what do you feel like's gotten you guys better? What are you doing to get better in your decoy spreads and your? Well, let's just stick with decoy spread for right now. But
more decoys.
I
went through a phase like when I hunted, I took every decoy that I had, and I had these massive spreads, and then don't take offense.
No, dude,
we went through a period where
I was going to say
where you went minimalization.
Yes.
And at times I'm like, man, we need more decoys. And you're like, no, we don't need more. We need more decoys. We're still killing birds.
I know,
but I've reverted back. Like, who cares? I'm taking my decoys. So I don't know. Sometimes I think more decoys can be good.
Travis, what we were doing,
other areas where you go where you need less decoys. You don't need as many.
Exactly. And I think what I was doing, and maybe you were doing, I know you were doing, and I know I was doing, is we were using one mindset for every situation. You wanted to take a lot of decoys no matter where you were at, whether you needed much or not.
Yeah.
There was a situation where you only needed a few decoys, but I wanted to carry that over into big ponds of open water, which doesn't work.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't, I'm not saying you couldn't kill birds.
You can still kill birds, but yeah, you want that attraction.
But then I think we finally come to this point
merged.
Like,
yeah.
Okay, when we're on big water, let's throw the whole kitchen sink out.
Yeah.
And when we're in these little pockets, 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, And I think that's how we've gotten better is we've kind of just sitting here doing this, like going, this way. Because I would always cry because I got sick of carrying all those decoys. And that was when we were carrying everything. We were not using carts. And I was just like, dude, 5, 6 decoys. That's all you need. And of course, I was persuasive enough when it was me and him, he would do that, which I'm sure he probably didn't agree. But but that wasn't always right either, though.
Yeah. So I'm big water. I think the more decoys you have, and then to the use of movement, we never, like when I hunted, I never used any kind of movement. I didn't even use a jerk string for years, and then I started using that. The thing that really got me on that more is when I had that it was called a decoy heart by Primos, and I stuck that inside of a mallard body.
Yeah, I remember you used that.
And it was deadly. I mean, and then of course you're like, oh, if one works great, let's go to 3. Didn't work as good. One was sufficient and fewer decoys, and I think it was deadly on mallards. And then now I'm thinking, I'm getting more into more motion things. So like the big water, you never see ducks setting perfectly still. And some days we have calm days out there. And so, we've invested in some more motion things. I'm anxious to try those and just to see how it works. I didn't say what kind of motion.
Hey, he rolled his eyes, but he's the one that said, "Don't make a video on that."
We're not making a video. There's all different kinds of motion.
Oh, there's hundreds. Hey, have you guys heard of this?
Your foot in the water.
Have you guys heard of duck thing?
I've heard of duck thing.
Yeah, have you?
Let me see it.
All right, I'm gonna play. Maybe let's see if that one's a good one. So duck thing.
There really, if you look, actually, there's
tons.
so many.
What
types
about
of
this
motion.
Joker, man? He's invested a lot in a lot of stuff.
Oh yeah.
Me?
Yeah.
No, your brother.
Okay, so I guess it's my turn to. Oh, I've seen that. Yeah, I don't know how great that would work for us. No, it would work.
Big water?
It would for sure work.
But I don't.
But I'm saying, I don't know. I don't know if I want to take that out. with
no.
me. In other words,
well, yeah. Is it worth it?
If we had
the stuff that we have right now,
if we had a permanent pond, that would be different.
Absolutely.
He kind of says it. The guy that makes this duck thing, it's duckthing.com. He says it's more for permanent use.
If you had a permanent setup, it would be great.
Yes, absolutely.
Like
with
clubs and stuff.
With how mobile we are.
It'd be terrible. The thing is huge.
And I'll tell you why. Because I bought something not even that extensive. And honestly, I don't want to take it. I probably won't even take it this year at all. I wasted $300 on this thing. I
wonder how much this thing is.
What was that thing called? It wasn't the auto jerk.
Oh, I thought it was.
Nope. It wasn't real motion and it wasn't auto jerk. It was something else.
It's these guys you found on Instagram or something.
From some guys that are back east. And the thing
I think
works.
that thing would work on big water though.
No, it does work.
It works. Period. Yeah.
It works.
Yeah.
I know I could definitely do that in a situation where it'd work great. It's just it's slightly awkward. It's kind of heavy, and it actually makes some noise. It's just there's certain things I could use it in a certain scenario. I would say I could still use it, but there's decoys that have batteries in them already that are self-contained that are just they end up just being easier. And you're talking about getting better
and not having string in the way.
So some things are just that's
dogs tripping over.
That's another thing is
jerk string
and us. How many times did I walk through the jerk string?
Yeah,
ripped it out, broke the string.
Yeah,
it came unattached or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So my answer to that, as far as the decoys go, I don't know. I'm kind of the newer guy. I've always been kind of like the motion guy, into motion, because honestly, we probably have 75% of our hunt days are calm, like 0 to 5.
Wind.
0 to 5 wind. You know what I mean? And I would kill for windy days, or I wouldn't have any motion. You don't even need them. You wouldn't even have spent any money on them because they're more expensive. But honestly, not hunting a club or whatever, it seems like the day before, the day after, we'll have good wind, but then the hunt day comes and we don't have any wind. So like you said, you don't want stagnant, stale decoys on water. So as far as getting better, I think I've kind of focused on the motion options a lot, whether it's, I feel like I've somewhat got what I like how to use spinners or water motion decoys, just by trial and error.
I'm like in the mode where I don't think I could have enough of them.
Well, here's the deal.
I
feel the same way.
I feel like I could have like of a certain one. I could have 4 or 5 more, and I would be totally happy, especially when I'm hunting big open water. You know what I'm saying? I could have.
And I'll tell you right now, you still wouldn't think that would be enough.
Well, here's the deal. Let me ask you this question: do you want 24 decoys, none of them being motion, or do you want 6 regular decoys and 4 motion decoys on a calm 0 wind
motion.
Day.
Oh yeah, motion for sure.
What? Because even though you got more decoys, what do you think the bird's going to see easier?
They're going to see the motion.
Well, not only seeing it and picking it out, like, okay, there's that.
But once they look at it,
they know what decoy spreads are. They've been looking at them since Canada. So it's like, it's common sense.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I've said before. Unless there's wind,
right,
that changes the whole thing.
Exactly. Yep.
And a lot of times we've taken a lot of extra gear. This last year, I feel like we took a lot of extra gear to play both factors. Mm-hmm. So we don't know. The weather says it's going to be this, but if it doesn't, then we're going to be hosed if we didn't bring this.
Yeah.
So we end up bringing more stuff to be prepared. And I think that's a big part of getting better because it was supposed to be windy that day that we shot me, you, Jake, and Travis. Remember, it was supposed to be windy?
Yeah.
Dead calm the whole time. And if we wouldn't have had that motion stuff out there, because we had a lot of decoys, which is funny. It just still didn't look like that many decoys.
What are you talking about? I wasn't with you. I was on the other side of the pond.
Yes.
I was in the same pond.
It was me, you, Jake. No, dude. We were in pits. Me, you, Jake, and
yeah.
We had a lot of decoys, but there was no wind the whole morning.
Yeah.
And honest to God, I know for a
fog
fact
rolled in.
the reason those birds came by and shooting range for us was because of that motion.
Yeah.
And there was no jerk string. It was battery operated motion.
But I think I'll continue to invest in
no
that
spinner wings.
more and more. I mean, because they're not cheap. One decoy is expensive.
Yeah.
You know, so
any motion decoy, one of them is expensive.
Yeah. So I think if I can build that up over time. Yeah.
Well, the cool thing about what we got right now is the fact that it's you can change. Like, say if you have, they say it will last for 4 or 5 years if you take care of them, leave them inside the house so the temperature of the batteries is not going up and down. The sweet thing about it is the fact that if once it does go out, you can buy a replacement for it for way cheaper instead of buying the whole thing over again.
Yeah. And mine are inside.
It's what are they called again? I mean, it's not a secret.
What?
The
pulsator.
The pulsator.
The pulsators.
Yeah, the Higdon, the battleship. They've been around a long time.
Yeah.
They've been around for a long time.
I wish I had like
the real decoy makes swimming decoys.
3 or 4 pintails. You know what I'm saying, for open water, or 3 or 4 swimmers. You know what I'm saying, movement.
Just the only issue is anyway.
Here's the deal. When there's wind, though, those are pretty much useless.
You don't need them.
You know what I mean? If we were in an area that had wind all the time, then we probably wouldn't be talking about this. You know. So just take that into account. You know, if you have some good motion on the water, you don't need to spend the extra money.
I think it makes it better. I think it makes your hunt better.
It does. And like you said, they're pricey, so not everybody wants to spin it, and that's totally fine. Jerk rig works just as good.
Yeah.
All you're doing is you're just trying to make things easier on yourself.
Exactly.
And we're not sitting tripping. That's it. If we couldn't do it, I couldn't afford it, we'd still be pulling jerk string. And we still will. I still will. There's certain places, times a year, we obviously know that's all we can use. So we'll just use what we got. What about shooting? I don't feel like we really do much to better our shooting before season starts.
Not at all, especially now with
never have
with the well, I think I did before.
Did you?
Because I dove hunted a lot.
Oh yeah.
And with California, with the regulations with the still shot and not being able to use lead, it's harder to find still. I think in some because I used to go to Walmart. I'd run over to Walmart and buy 4 or 5 boxes of shells
for $20.
Run there, throw them on the counter, walk out. Now with the waiting for the background check and the availability of still shot.
Took the wind out of yourself.
Yeah, it has. I don't even care to dove hunt.
Dude, I've got so many calls. Are you going to go dove hunting? You going to do it? I'm like,
yeah.
Like if there was a really good spot, I'd probably go, but like I don't have that huge desire like I used to when we used to
we used to have an awesome spot.
Oh, man.
You couldn't load
but
fast
like you said, it was
times.
easier to deal with things. And it's just made it such easier. A pain. It's just like,
I mean, I even hate, what I'm saying, purchasing shells for waterfowl season.
And honestly, the first dove season is so hot, dude.
Oh, it's hot here.
It's
what's it today? 108?
110.
Yeah, something like that. So
it's just. I mean, if you go in the morning, it's great, but like afternoon, it's like.
So, I think that way I was improving my shooting by shooting doves early in the season.
Yeah,
getting used
I'll
to
take that back.
Gun,
it's 111 right now.
111. Yeah, so wants to be out there 111 degrees shooting at doves. I
don't.
Yeah,
I'm probably lazy,
unless I had a good tree to hide underneath. But typically, the places we have now to hunt, there's no shade.
Yeah,
and you're just out there in the heat, and that's not a lot of fun to me.
Do you think shooting skeet and trap makes you better for ducks?
I don't think it hurts. It can't hurt, but to me, it's not situational.
It's not. Because how many times when you're hunting ducks are you in the most awkward stance when you're going to shoot at a duck?
Well, you're standing in mud. You can get off balance.
But I'm saying you're always off. It feels like a lot of times you're always off balance or turned or twisted.
Yeah.
That's never relates to me shooting. I would say I feel like it's just opinion. That's all it is. Skeet is a lot better for ducks than trap is because trap's just going away. Duck, you can shoot ducks going away, and I'm actually not that good of a shot when they're going directly away. But I'm better at crossing shots. But I think for duck hunting, skeet helps me with the lead and keeping that lead and following through.
I think doves are great because they don't always fly in a straight path.
Dude, yeah,
they dodge. They
to me they're hard to hit,
and they're
ducks.
small. They're small. They say that the more shells are wasted on, are actually shot at a dove during season than anything else.
Oh, I believe it, dude. I was watching somebody, some channel shoot doves, and I was like, oh, I forget how. I haven't really hunted them much in a while, and it's like I forget how much they dodge and dart, dude. It's like, man.
Well, that place where we sent that
when you get a beat on them, they go whoop,
that rice field. They would come in high, but then drop down and be just above the ground and just be whipping and ducking, and they were not easy targets.
You haven't even done a lot of dove hunting, huh?
Not really.
I've
done it, but just I don't know.
I know, because everyone gets so pumped about it. I'm like, man, is there something wrong with me? Because all these people, they're so jacked up for. Yeah. And I think it's just the point of being able to get back out and hunt.
Get out and
start,
with your dog.
You know, you're getting close to duck season.
Yeah,
it's probably a big part of it. Mm-hmm. A lot of the Midwest and back, their dove and goose start at the same time.
Oh, really?
So I would be getting pumped too. Like, okay, I got all these early goose spots,
early teal season too,
and early teal. You know? So yeah, you're just pumped because you're already starting waterfowl season. Whereas here, we're just like, man, we still got a month and a half away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But like I said, you know, I did get invited out to some spots, and it just hasn't worked out. It's not that I want it or don't want to go. I've been on nights this week, and it's just like something's always coming. It's like, been flying all night. I just don't feel like it.
I just haven't wanted to be out there in 100-degree weather.
Right. And then you're working all week, so you can't go during the week.
I could go in the afternoons.
Dude, do you still have that spot out there with that corn? It just ain't that good out there. But could you still go out there?
I think when they cut the corn, it's usually better.
Oh, so the later season
corn, yeah.
Okay.
The later season's typically better.
What do you think about shooting, getting better at shooting?
I don't know. I can't say I've ever done anything to like really practice. We've shot some just some targets on a little just a little hand thrower or whatever.
Yeah.
But do you feel that you get better as the season goes along?
Oh yeah,
at shooting,
absolutely, yeah. But I can't say that like I'm definitely a better shooter at the end of season. Yeah,
I think one thing that I could get better at is when ducks are coming in. Not shooting at the same bird as somebody else shooting. It's just a natural tendency to shoot at the same bird, and I don't know what it is. I think your eyes are attracted
to the same one.
I think you're attracted to a color or a situation of how they're coming in, and you're just naturally drawn to that target.
Yeah, that's what I don't like. I hate that because we could be so much more efficient.
Yeah.
And that's what's incredible about Duck Commander guys. Those guys, like, they know how to shoot their lanes.
Yeah.
And they hit the birds, but we hit birds too. But it's just like we're always aiming at the same ones.
Well, that's what happens a lot of times too. And I think there's a degree of frustration with that when you're like, you shoot a bird and you're like, you think you killed it, and then somebody else is like, hey, I shot that same bird. Yeah. And you don't even, like, because you're so focused, you don't hear their shot at all.
Right. Or you shoot at the same time.
Or they shoot at the same time.
You know, shot cam has definitely helped with that.
Oh, yeah. That's eliminated.
But do you still think you shoot at the same bird as somebody else?
No, we still do it. But I mean, I think you kind of know, I guess you just know more whose bird it is. Not that it really, really matters, unless there's a band.
Yeah.
But, you know, that could be a thing that we could work on this year. I feel like it's harder with the more people you have.
Well, of course, yeah.
Obviously, right? I feel like we do pretty well.
Mm-hmm. You know? We talk about it.
Usually, it just depends. Like, if there's pairs or whatever, we'll kind of take turns back and forth just trying to shoot drakes. You know, for the most part, unless it's a really slow day, it's afternoon, whatever, we'll go for both.
But we started trying to do better at that last year. We would say, okay, you take the back, I'll take the front one.
Yeah.
Instead of just throwing it up. But like you said, if it's a hen, then the guy that had the right bird ain't going to shoot.
But what I'm saying is we definitely could do better with that.
Oh, yeah.
And it would be better for us because we're getting more birds, right? I think we could do better as far as, say we got 4 coming in, whatever, 4 working, and that front one gets close. I think a lot of times we have a tendency to
shoot the close
to
one.
go for the close one.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're messing up right there
for sure.
And if we were lined up like we are now, and they're coming, straight at us, instead of I'm gonna pick that closest one. Because that's what you naturally do.
Oh, yeah.
It's absolutely. Like you can't even help it. You're just like, boom. Oh, that's the drake right there. Boom. I see this drake.
Mm-hmm.
And there's 2 more behind these front 2. I think it can be hard, but I think we can do better this year as far as, okay, you're in the middle. There's a drake and hen right here. I'm not going to go for this. I'm going to shoot those 2 that are back.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. It is hard.
It's hard.
It is hard. Very hard.
Yeah.
Even for guys that have been hunting a lot, in together.
Yeah.
It's hard, but...
You have to talk about it, too, beforehand. You can't just willy-nilly go out there and, expect everybody to be on the same page. Yeah. Honestly, it still bugs me. And I want, when we go back, this is what I want to get better at, is when we do go to hunt out of state or wherever we go to hunt, I want to get better... I want to hit more. Dude, I feel like in Washington, we shot like garbage. Dude, we shot like garbage, dude. Yeah. It's actually embarrassing when I watched.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, we did. Yeah,
now let me say this.
There was a couple that I was just like, oh my goodness. How in the world? Same with that day me and you went. And that's the beginning of season. That was the beginning of season.
You're like, how did I miss that, bro?
Yeah. How
I had a day like that.
Yeah.
My dad and I went out, and I literally could not hit a cinnamon teal.
Yeah.
And I had over 20, I seen at least 20 drakes, and I haven't killed a cinnamon teal.
Separately? Or was it in one flock?
No, they were coming in in 2s and 3s, and I had about
I remember that day.
I had
and 10, that was towards the end of the season.
Yes, 10 different opportunities, and the first bird I killed that day was a drake blue wing, and I mean I tailpiped this thing.
You talk about a good day.
Yeah,
I tailpiped that bird probably at 35 plus yards going away, and dropped in one shot, boom. And then I had cinnamons come in, and I could not hit them. It was psychological. I don't know what it was, but they were literally within 20 yards, and I could not hit them. I couldn't believe it myself. And the more I shot, the worse I got, I think. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, I didn't know what to do. I was totally frustrated.
Not to toot the horn so much, but shot can help you with that.
It can.
Honestly,
you're always going to realize you're shooting behind.
Yeah.
You do not...
over. Honestly, I've shot over a lot.
Over, that's what I shoot. And that's why I changed that beat on my shotgun, because it's going to bring my aim down. So I'm thinking, we'll see. I might end up ripping it off and saying I don't like it, whatever, mental thing. But I shoot over and I shoot behind. Mm-hmm. Everybody does that, though. That's what everybody does. Nobody misses in front of the birds. Very rare. Except that one snow goose that came in, remember? At the refuge, I shot right, and he goes like this. He pulled his neck back, and then you could see the pattern go right in front.
Well, what happened this last year? Remember we were out there? The only snow goose that we even shot at.
Oh my god!
Remember that?
I've never seen anything that. I've probably done it, but
I don't even know how I possibly missed this bird.
Blown away, dude. This bird was 25 yards high, flying at 2 miles an hour. Literally, just
probably overlet him.
Just
I have no idea what I did.
just flying over.
Just
flying. I was probably
freaking out,
30 yards, 40 yards away from him. I think hiding the sled or something, and it was just flapping right over Travis like this, just cackling at him, barking at him, and Travis, boom, boom, boom.
3 shells, and I mean, every one of them should have hit it.
It was the weirdest thing ever.
It was the only goose.
It was the only goose. There's never any snow geese at this refuge. And it just flew literally directly over Travis at 25 yards.
It was weird.
We hadn't any decoys out. We were walking.
It's like it wanted to die, and I couldn't even kill it.
Yeah.
I couldn't put it out of its misery.
Was that the last 2 weeks when I started using that full choke? Was that the last? Or even maybe 1 week before the end?
Yeah, it was 1 or 2 hunts.
What do you have to say about when I was hitting those birds?
Yeah, I was impressed. I'm not going to lie.
I mean, not necessarily because of my shooting, but because the way the pattern is hitting that.
No, I mean,
were they flinching?
Pretty good shooting. No, they were dead.
So do you think that, you're talking about getting better at something, do you think that patterning your gun helped you be a better shot? It boosted your confidence.
It boosted my confidence.
And you're like, okay, I know my gun's going to perform. It's up to me to put the bead where I need to put it, and it's going to work. I've hunted since I was 9 years old. I've never patterned a gun in my whole life. I've always shot modified chokes. And it's just, and the thing I will tell you though, is when I've taken my modified out and I've put an improved cylinder in there, my confidence goes out the window. I have no confidence in my shooting.
Because you haven't seen what it looks like, probably.
I have no idea what it's doing. I don't know I don't know how it's performing. I have no confidence.
At what range?
I know it has affected my shooting when I've stuck an improved cylinder into my gun.
You'd be amazed. Actually, you shoot a modified stock choke at 40 yards. You'd be amazed, dude. Like, man, I'm killing birds at that. Like, you know what I mean?
How it hits. Yeah.
Yeah. How spread it as some ammo is.
Some ammo, yeah.
Yeah. There's, you know what I'm saying. But
that's what I thought about Super X.
Yeah.
I was like, man, I can't believe we were killing birds as much as we were at 40 yards.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah. Really? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I've never patterned my gun. It's always something I've thought about doing and just never have taken the time.
It's just it takes time and it takes a lot of energy. Not a lot, but it does take time. The biggest thing to me though, and it's always a harassment on the channel, is that's not patterning. Okay, whatever. The point is seeing what your pattern is doing on a piece of paper. And even though I'm using a little duck, and so I've done it the right way with the big white sheet of paper too, but when you see how much of the BBs are hitting what you were aiming at, you're like, okay. Like you said, if I put the right lead on it, it's gonna work. It's gonna cover them.
Yeah.
And then that does boost it, dude, because you're always wondering when we use those pattern masters for one hunt and never used it again, send it back. Did you send yours back too?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We weren't hitting nothing. And honestly, was it the fault of that pattern master? No. I had no confidence. I instantly thought, what is this even doing? What does it look like? That's when I started actually patterning 3 years ago. That's when I started doing it. And I feel like I was telling Jake and Nathaniel, like some of these younger guys, I said, guys, if you will you can't overlead the bird. And when I say that, you could honestly, right?
Yes.
But you have
whatever you think
your human brain.
Yes.
You have to tell your human brain.
Typically, you're behind it.
You have to tell it that.
Yeah.
Because you're natural, even though you're like, okay, I can't, so I'm going to aim way up here. But your eye and your brain's still going to bring you way back to this lead instead of way out here. So it ends up being right.
And I think sometimes young shooters, like, the guys that we hunt with, I think there's a tendency to not to keep swinging.
Yeah.
You're swinging, boom. And then you start swinging again. Boom. Start swinging again. It's not a fluid boom, boom, boom motion.
Yeah.
Another thing, besides patterning your gun, I think shooting shells that you have confidence in. Sometimes I get... Yeah. You ever have a box of shells and you're just like, is there BBs in these things? You know what I'm saying? Like, or they'll, you get a jam or the Benelli click or, whatever. And the brand of shells that I'm shooting now, have shot last year. Like, I knew that every time I pulled the trigger that it was going to fire.
Did you ever have a misfire?
I didn't have a single misfire.
Have you?
I never had a click with them either.
I think I had one last year.
I don't remember having a click.
And you've had Benelli clicks?
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
So then was it...
always my biggest nightmare is that it's going to be a hybrid, Oh,
my goodness.
And that my gun's going to go click, and I'm going to miss the bird of a lifetime.
That's not a good feeling.
I think that's the moment where you buy another gun. Definitely.
Yeah.
But sometimes certain ammo just doesn't perform as well, I think. And so, I have complete confidence in the heavy shot ammo, and I really like it.
Have you shot anything besides heavy metal?
No.
Of their products?
No. I've only shot heavy metal.
We got those heavy bismuth.
I haven't shot the hammer. I haven't shot the teal.
Or the steel? Heavy steel?
I shot those a couple of years ago.
Or the snow.
Still.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, someone was like, heavy steel, ain't nothing that hits like heavy steel. And I'm thinking, it's steel. Yeah. Their steel is no different than any other steel. It's the same grams per cubic centimeter. It's not going to, you got the wad, you got those things, factors, but it just cracked me up. Like, heavy steel's the best. I'm like, it's steel.
Right. I don't know.
The difference between the heavy hammer and obviously heavy metal is you got the bismuth. It used to be tungsten in the heavy metal. They changed it to bismuth, obviously price points. But man, I'm telling you that bismuth in there, we know.
And the heavy hammer basically has a little bit of
half
bismuth
of the bismuth. of what the heavy metal has.
Heavy metal does.
Yeah, heavy metal has 30%, and the heavy hammer has 15%.
And then the heavy bismuth is all bismuth.
It's all bismuth.
Yep. So the heavy hammer is slightly less bismuth than the heavy metal, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least you just got a little concoction of it in there.
Yeah.
Instead of just straight steel. And that's why they're $19 a box, which is fair.
Yeah.
To get a little bit of bismuth in. No other company
has bismuth
as of right now has a little drops of bismuth in for that price. It's just straight steel or they go straight bismuth.
Yes.
No one's got yet, and I'm sure there might be some companies come out, and maybe I don't know. There's some new ones maybe this year. But it's just nice that they throw that in the non-toxic, heavier, denser BBs.
Yeah.
For that strength and power of knockdown and kill ratio.
And two, I mean, last year I shot heavy metal at everything.
Yeah, honkers, geese.
Yeah, teal, all the way up.
Swans. I was telling.
No swans.
Well, if you're in Utah, you're South Carolina or whatever. I was telling him, depending on what happens with heavy shot and how we work together this year, I was telling him I have heavy hammer.
How else can you get better? Take a leak before you get in the pond, okay?
Buy the Delta Zip so you can pee faster.
You get back to hunting quicker.
and not pee in your waders.
You can use one hand to pee and then the other hand. Actually, no hands. No hands.
Me and Trouse are too old for that. No.
You can just go free falling.
We can't go no hands right now. Straight down in our waders. I mean, I don't know. The hunting, I mean, we kind of sidetracked and rabbit trailed off that full choke, but I mean, I don't know why I always want to talk about that because I see so many things about full. I'll be honest and open. Like, Jordan's always harassing Elliot about full choke because Elliot will not shoot full choke and he cannot stand. He abhors full chokes.
Is it because the stigma that goes along with you're shooting him at a far distance?
Farther, yeah, I'm sure that's what it is.
And the thing too is though, if you're shooting him close, you're gonna obliterate that bird.
No, I agree. I just think it's just funny how some people get with the full choke thing. Like it offends them almost. But honestly,
I think it depends on your hunt. If you're shooting at mallards, I couldn't care less if it blows their head off. Yeah. Literally, I got a hatred for mallards, a love-hate relationship. But like, if you're shooting teal or whatever, I don't know. Like, I honestly feel like I would probably just keep using modified.
I'm just comfortable with modified. That's why I'll probably stick with modified.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you right now.
I'm not saying I wouldn't do it.
I'll tell you right now. It's gonna make it makes it difficult when they're close. Because I had taken it back there when we shot, and I missed one because he was from here to that decoy in the
right.
Yeah, dude, how big is it? That big?
The size of a quarter.
Right? Yeah.
But and the thing too is how tough are mallards. Mallards are one of the toughest
super
ducks,
resilient.
I feel like.
Dude, you rolled that one. He spun and kept going. I mean, right on the shot cam, you can see it.
Yeah. I mean, I've smacked the dog out of mallards and they get away from me.
She just ripped the carpet out of that bedroom.
That's one way to get something done.
And I said no.
Oh. You talk about an overachiever. Wow. We need to spin this camera around and show you live footage.
What would you do if your wife ripped the carpet out of a bedroom?
I tell her it's going to be really echoey in here. Don't scream.
Just leave it with nothing in there.
Somebody breaks in, don't start screaming because it's going to be echoing through the house. You're going to scare everybody.
What is she going to do in there?
She's painting the old wood floor.
She's painting a wood floor? Oh, you got wood floors.
Do not do that.
We got cement floors.
I've painted floors. Don't do it. It's not worth it.
But you know how it echoes? Like when you take carpet out of a house, it's just like,
woo. Yeah, but what they'll do is they'll stick a bunch of carpet down, like a bunch of rugs.
Rugs?
Yes.
I said don't do that.
Oh,
and she's dragging it out.
Deliberately disobeyed.
Get better, get better, get better. Get better.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, yeah. I said, why do you want a husband if you don't want to listen to him?
Unbelievable.
It's not even funny. She's smiling like it's a joke. It's like, do you see me smiling right now?
Oh, man.
We are rolling on our podcast and we're talking about you.
I don't care. Do you think I really care?
No, obviously not.
There's a little fear in her eyes. I can see it.
Yeah. And she forgot we're back on Instagram. And she posts something on there. He took it really well. And I said, no, he didn't. I replied back to her. And God only knows what she says on her Instagram stories.
Oh, you don't know.
What do I know? I'm not on there. Well, anyways, guys, if you're listening to this, we are back on Instagram. I'm not gonna be running it really so much, but if there's something going on I need to know about, if you guys message, I'll try to reach out or whatever. But anyways, I'm still like, I don't want to deal with that social media, but we do have it and we're posting and doing stuff like that. So whatever. Some of these it seems like some of these companies want you just gotta have social media. I don't get it.
Do you have any goals this year as far as like
to get better?
No. Like, okay, I want to make sure that like for me, I want to kill a cinnamon so bad.
Oh,
like that is my.
I would say it's up there.
That's my goal for this year is to get some cinnamons.
I know
this year.
Can go, dude.
And
I was talking to him about it.
I want to get some cinnamons like that.
40% of this refuge's birds is cinnamons.
Really?
There's two of them I know of.
Yeah.
But it's the fact of traveling to go there.
Yeah.
And it's in California.
I have to kill a cinnamon this year.
I do too,
That's my goal.
I haven't killed one.
It's been 4 or 5.
3 or 4 years. That picture I have.
And I've shot at them. I just haven't killed them.
I had 2 fly over me this season, and I thought they were green wings. I didn't want to shoot.
Yeah.
They go by me. It's a stinking cinnamon
I had a
drake.
couple chances at cinnamons. I failed.
Did you just miss, or did you not even shoot? I just didn't shoot because I thought it was another teal. I was like, I don't want to have another teal.
I missed a cinnamon. Yeah, I missed a couple cinnamons.
I did
nice
both.
Cinnamon drakes. But on the other hand, I completed a ultra big goal for me is I shot a absolute stud blue wing, which everybody probably think that's funny because you guys have early blue wing teals or early teal season, whatever, shoot a lot of blue wings, but I myself haven't shot.
Which they're never plumed out, though.
Yeah,
So.
I mean,
Texas,
there's a big difference between a brown early season blue wing and a mature stud plumed out Drake blue wing. It's amazing. And I shot one last year with all the purple on his head.
White stripe goes
and
way
it
back.
was like the second to last week of season, and he was just absolutely amazing. Tertial feathers, amazing. Purple on his head, massive, moon on his face. So I was, to say the least, I was stoked
to kill one in California.
Yeah. I was hooping and hollering over that one. Which
that was the day when me and Jake were on the other side.
Yeah,
that's cool. And I don't know how I didn't know that's what you shot. I was like, what's he getting so pumped up for?
Yeah.
That was fun. That is fun. Being in the same pond, but 2 different hunts.
Yeah.
And kind of getting to see what each other's doing. That was actually cool.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah. You guys were a little mad though at us a little bit.
For what?
I don't know.
No, it wasn't. Dude, I was slaughtering the birds.
Oh, anyway.
Dude, that was good.
Yeah.
I was shooting.
I had a good day.
I was shooting good too.
We had a good day that day.
Mm-hmm. Why was that?
Shane kind of blew it a little bit, but we had a lot of birds.
Why are you saying you thought we were matching, guys?
Oh, I thought there was one time we shot a pintail. Oh, I think what it was is
it was working us.
No. I think what had happened is it did come right over you guys or something, and you weren't looking that way. Jake was looking that way, and it flew right over him or something. And then it came over to us and worked us, and I shot it. But I think that you were all, you're welcome or something like that, and you were getting on to Jake because he wasn't seeing any birds.
Dude, he was off.
You know what I'm
day.
talking about? Huh?
Yes. Yeah. I think I remember you shooting a pintail, but I don't remember. I remember saying you're welcome, but I don't remember. Is that why I said that?
Yes.
Dude,
stud Drake pintail.
I was like, dude, what is he couldn't hit nothing, and he wasn't seeing them.
Yeah.
He was off that day. Jake's actually pretty good for a newer hunter. He's a pretty good shot. Well, we did see that day at
that one place we were harassing him a little bit, I guess.
He's funny. I could say so many things. I wish he was here right now.
I know.
It's not fair to say it.
Why is it that some people are so fun to talk trash to?
Well, he's not the one that usually gets the trash talked about him.
Oh.
So
he does it to other people.
Yeah, so but then he acts all bashful about talking, ducking and stuff, so.
Trying to find that picture.
He listens to these though.
No, he don't.
He won't say it though. He goes, Nathaniel listens to him all the time. I thought, yeah. Sure, Jake. He will not come on the stupid pod. I don't know what his deal is.
There goes your padding.
I'm trying to think. I might be able to use that.
Oh, she thinks she's going to put that in the garage.
Oh.
You know what the thing is? When your wife does something, I'm going to get better at being a good husband. That's what I want to be. Because right now, I want to wring her neck.
Just go help her.
Dude.
Lift it up, carry it, so they don't have to drag it down the hall.
Yeah. I'm going to get better. When you guys leave here, I won't do nothing violent.
Your life is in jeopardy.
No, most wives
the sheer
would
gall.
listen when their husband said, don't do that.
I said, 3 trips this year.
Who's the boss here? We need to have a
3 trips. What's the third? You know, 2.
Oh, the Flywise Collective
Okay.
collab. That's actually going to be like a 6-day deal.
Where's this at?
Kansas. Probably maybe a little bit of Nebraska too, maybe. It's all public land.
This was that day.
Yeah, that was a good day.
I
beautiful blue wing.
Yeah, I shot those 2
Let me
drakes.
guess, you didn't shoot the shovelers.
No, I did.
I'm just joking.
But I shot those 2. That one, I think I shot a hen and like a drake and a.
It was a fun day.
Yeah.
You probably could have shot a lot more widgeon than that. As many widgeons that were there.
Shane was having a rough day. I think because I was wanting him to shoot too. He missed a pintail point blank, a beautiful drake widgeon point blank. I was just like, shoot it! But we had a blast. That was actually a really, really fun day. So, but I was mad. I was mad because I missed a drake cinnamon before that, and then right after this.
That was a Wednesday, wasn't it?
Probably.
Because I don't think I hunted that day.
I think we hunted that weekend for the closer. I think that was the Wednesday before the closer.
January 22nd. So it was like.
Yeah, it was a week. It was the Wednesday before or it might have been the weekend before the closer. Did you miss any Saturdays
that was
last
Wednesday.
year?
I think I hunted every Saturday last year.
That was a Wednesday.
Yeah.
Did you get to do any Wednesdays?
I didn't do any Wednesdays.
Huh. I'm surprised too because of the job you had. You technically could have, but you really didn't have no reason to. It wasn't like we had a good resi for that day or anything.
No, but
you probably would have though.
It's tough when you know there's birds out there and people are killing them and you're working.
Dude, it doesn't matter if they shoot 2 birds. It's hard. It stinks.
It's hard.
Man.
I'm dreading the day shifts.
Dude,
I'm serious.
We're not even talking about this.
No, I'm missing a Wednesday and a Saturday.
He's gonna miss 2 days out of the hunt.
No, I'm missing more than that. You already know that. We talked about it.
You'll miss half of a hunt.
No, I'm just saying that's for me. A Saturday and a Wednesday that same week is gonna be terrible.
Wait,
because you guys will be getting resis in that time, guaranteed. Somewhere in there, and I'm gonna be.
I didn't get that many resis.
I'm gonna quit my job. I'll just quit.
I didn't either.
I'll go full-time YouTube.
And I put in a lot of resis, actually.
You didn't get any? You don't put in very much though.
Yeah, I did. I put me and my kids in.
For Travis, for what? You say that, but how much do you spend? That will tell right now.
Are we still on the same podcast?
I don't know,
it's almost over.
No, I just mean about getting better.
This is because I want to know how much. How much did you spend?
I don't know.
It will tell me right now how much you.
I don't know. I didn't drop no like $500.
Okay, you didn't put in that much time.
I know people that
for 3 people
double that.
Huh?
I know certain people.
It's what is it? How much is it?
Not me.
How much is it a piece? How much is it a piece? I spent probably $150 to $200.
That's honestly for 3 people. That's nothing, dude. I hate to tell you that.
It seemed like
that
a
just
lot.
no.
It's
well,
not.
it is. I mean, it's money.
At least
it's money.
300.
I'm not downplaying the money part of it.
At least for myself.
I had 350 last year.
Yeah.
So I'm saying when you're saying you're not getting drawn, it's like.
But that's for one person.
But you guys are spreading it out over multiple refuges. Say I'm going for 5 to 6 refuges, and at three per refuge, and you still don't get drawn. That seems like you're not getting drawn.
But the thing is everybody's doing that, so they're getting those resis.
No,
and
I'm not spread out that far, dude.
But people are getting multiples because you see people post, "Oh, I got 4 reservations today." I'm like, well, that must be nice.
That you I almost feel like they should fix that. Because I've gotten that before.
Let's get better at the draw lottery system in California.
I've gotten 2. I think even one time I got like 3. And none of them were really high numbers.
I've never gotten that.
But to me,
one day, I never got
to me that's stupid. Like, that doesn't do me any good. I mean, yeah, it's nice to have 3 different resis, but what I'm saying,
you're only going to use one of them.
You're only going to use one. Mm-hmm. So now 2 of those other things are being wasted, and I know you can still go put in for lottery, whatever, if you really want to go hunt there. But it seems like one hunting license should only be able to hunt 1 resi, or I mean at least draw 1 resi for that day. You know what I mean?
To give other guys the chance.
It would give more people resis.
I agree with that. I've said that. I totally agree with that. You give so many more guys chances to be able to be out there and hunt and get in the first morning, in the morning of the hunt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I'm not downplaying you spending $150, but I'm just saying that won't even be that. That's decent for 1 guy, but for 3 people, that's like nothing.
Well, my daughter doesn't hunt all the time.
No, I know.
Talon doesn't hunt all the time.
I'm not trying to say nothing bad about it.
We don't go together.
I'm just saying.
Still,
I'm saying you're shocked you're not getting drawn. I put 350 in and got 2 resis. That's not good odds.
I know.
So, which because of the coronavirus thing this year, I was reading all the regs that come out on Department of Fish and Game. And they're not allowing you. The one thing they're doing, which is good for walk-on people, I think, and I think it should have stayed this way, is they're not allowing people to bounce around and put in for lottery at multiple places. That's this year. I don't know what be the last, but 2021 season, you can only go in. What guys were doing is driving around from 7 to 9 or 6 to 8 or 6 to 9, whatever the window is the night before the hunt, and they're putting in for 3 different refuges. And so, like, it skyrockets the numbers, even though it's the same people, but they're going around all these places. Now you can do 1 spot. And the way I was like, how are they going to track that? But now they're doing it because it's all online. So they're going to know if you go put in, I believe, because it's tracking the system. So what's nice now is you can leave, go home back to your motel, or you can drive home, and you can look online what you drew instead of stay at the refuge till 30 minutes after the final cutoff.
Oh, okay.
And they started doing that last year.
In other words, guys are only going to put in where they really want to hunt.
Exactly.
And now you're going to really know, like, okay, this many guys want to hunt here. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And pros and cons. I mean, it is kind of nice because you can know better. But your odds. Yeah, I don't know if it really changes the odds.
Yeah, it does because.
Does it? Because the same amount of guys are putting in.
For you and me, if another guy goes in and puts in for 3 places, he's stacking up and changing the whole system of getting drawn.
Yeah.
For 3 different places.
Yeah.
Whereas if that guy's like, you know what, I'd really rather hunt over here. Now it changes that again. Mm-hmm. It makes it better, dude. It's not going to put so many people on the board.
Yeah, that's true. But now you only have 1 chance instead of 3 also.
Yeah, but I never did. I never really did that. I did a little bit locally here, but I never did it up there, up north.
Yeah.
I don't know. I saw how I felt about it, but I think it should be that way. In fact, that only changed like 5 years ago or something like that. Somewhere in there. It may have been a little bit longer, but I was talking to a couple guys at the check station, and they said, we never allow this. It's gotten way worse because guys are figured out I'm just driving all over, putting everywhere. Mm-hmm. And they said it did eliminate a lot of people and cut it down. So I think it should stay this way, personally.
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't even know what we're talking about. So, well, and overall, to end this Get Better series of 2 podcasts, that's my goal this year, is just to get better at a lot of things. Attitude, physical, your body, being in shape, get better at shooting, get better at tactics, get better. What else did we talk about?
Taking care of your equipment.
Decoys, taking care of your stuff. So if you guys have anything else you can think of, just let us know in the reviews. And give us a rating review in iTunes. And for those of you guys that put in for the giveaway, don't worry, I haven't forgot about you. We'll be sending you that stuff. I got your addresses, I got your names and all that good stuff and your sizes. So we'll be sending it out to you. I'm glad you guys put in for it. And we'll get it out to you. And again, thanks for your guys' support. Check us out. Also on our YouTube channel, The MVM Show. And then iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher. Share it around. Let people know about it. It's duck season. Guys driving out to Blind might want something to listen to, so help us out. I know you guys do. Let them know about the MVM show, and we'll see you guys next time.